What's up, guys? This is the Thinking Gamer here. Today I'm going to be making a video showing you guys the benefits and how to scout. Scouting is one of the most important things you can do and learn, and the quicker you can do that, the better off you're going to be. It doesn't matter how good of a player you are. If you're excellent at macroing up your army and you can build your base and you're just very good at that, it doesn't matter. None of that matters if you're building the wrong units to counter what your opponent is doing. Now, before you can really effectively use scouting, you're going to have to learn the various units of all the races, learn what they're strong against, what they're not strong against, so that when you scout your opponent, you're actually learning some valuable information that's going to help you win the game. The biggest problem a lot of players, especially newer players, do is they don't scout. So I'm going to be showing over the next 3 videos the various ways that each of the races can scout their opponent. Terran have an excellent ability, which is their orbital scan. If you upgrade your your base here to an orbital command, it comes with a scanner sweep. And it's one of the best ways that Terran can use to scout their opponent. The thing to note with this is when you use the scan, don't always scan the same place. And this applies when you're also playing against a Terran. You don't want to place all your buildings in one place. You know, if there's something you don't want your opponent to see, place it off to the side somewhere. You know, so that they don't get it in their scanner sweep. And when you're playing, make sure that you scan all these little various places from time to time to see what the enemy is hiding. Another thing that Terrans get rather early with just an engineering bay is a little tower called a sensor tower. They can build a sensor tower, and I recommend you always build one near your base. And if you notice on the map here, it's kind of hard to see, there is there's a little ring here. When any enemy unit enters that ring, it's going to show up on your map. And I'm going to show you here what I mean in a second. This is an excellent way to scout your enemy's base, kind of annoy them a little. You see all these little red dots? Those are enemy units. The problem with the sensor towers is once they're built, they can actually see them on the map and they know where they're at, and it kind of gives them a little bit of line of sight. But it's well worth it to get this advanced warning of where the enemy is going to be at. Let me destroy these guys real quick. Alright, what a lot of players don't do is scout their opponents at the beginning of the game. On small maps like this, it's very important to go ahead and sacrifice your economy a little and send an SCV over. An SCV costs, what, 50 minerals? And you can quickly get it over there and kind of find out what your enemy is doing at the beginning of the game. It's very crucial you get that first scout out there because they may be rushing you. They may be building a 6 pool or whatever, and you're going to be able to spot that and counter it effectively. Whenever you want, you can always send an SCV over to the enemy base and figure out what they're doing. Sometimes if they're Terran or Protoss, they'll have this walled off and you won't be able to get an SCV in their base, or they'll die like that. But sometimes just that information alone is enough. If you bring your SCV up here and you get killed by a void ray, then you know they've got void rays, you know. Just sometimes, you know, the death of your unit, you know, if they get killed by a siege tank, you know they have siege tanks. So this information can be invaluable. Another thing that you want to do always consistently throughout the game is take an SCV or another small unit like a marine or a zergling or something and simply place them on these Xel'Naga towers. Now watch what happens when they go up onto these Xel'Naga towers. It gives you a huge line of sight all the way around the tower, and this can give you advanced warning of your enemy's movements around, and you can tell what they're doing. Another thing that Terrans are going to want to do, or anybody's going to want to do, is scout the various expansion points out here. If you leave these unscouted, you're allowing the enemy to expand there without you even knowing it. An excellent unit the Terrans have to do this is the Hellion. The Hellion is a very fast unit, so it can move between expansion to expansion very quickly. And I'm going to show you some keyboard shortcuts here that's going to make using the Hellion for a scout excellent. Now, the first thing you want to do is highlight your Hellion here. Go to the place that you want to scout and put him there. And now, after you've clicked him to there, hit Shift and then Patrol. And now hold down shift and just keep patrolling him to the different bases that you want. And now that Hellion will automatically just travel from here to there, all the way to that base, and then he'll come back to this one, and he'll just do that indefinitely until he is either killed or, well, yeah, until he's killed or you cancel it. And this is a quick way to see where your opponent is expanding to and what they're doing. The computer does this too. Alright, another thing that Terran players can do is another excellent unit. Say for instance, the Terrans or Protoss have walled off their little ramp here. The back door is still closed and you don't know what they're doing. For the cheap cost of 50 minerals and 50 Vespian gas, you can build a Reaper. You can build a Reaper, you can bring that Reaper up here, and you can kind of scout your enemy out. Reapers are very fast when they're upgraded, and they make excellent scouts. You can get enough information to kind of determine what your opponent is doing. This is something that you want to do regularly. It's a benefit of harassing your opponent with Reapers. See, I can come in here and quickly determine what he's doing. See all of his buildings before he manages to kill my SCV or my Reaper. Another thing that Terrans can do are these little ravens. Ravens are a lot later in the game, but they do make excellent. They can give you some excellent information back if you use them properly. Ghost, I like ghosts, but ghosts are also pretty late game. You're probably not going to use them a lot for scouting information, though their stealth with their cloak ability, they can get places and see things. But by the time you get them, chances are they're going to have a solid detector unit anyways in place, so they don't make excellent scouts per se. Now I'm going to show you what you can do with these Reapers up here. I'm sorry, Ravens. These Ravens can come in behind enemy lines, and they can be used to harass an enemy, as well as gain some insight into what they're doing with their little turrets here. 2 ravens or even just 1 raven can get off a turret fairly quickly. And then what I like to do is come into the base and go ahead and drop one. You know, just kind of harass them a little bit here. And at the same time, you're gaining some insight. Any kind of marines that come up will automatically attack these things before they attack your ravens. And then you could just bring your units up here and hide them out until their energy fills back up. Hopefully you guys have found this information useful. That's about all I got as far as Terran. My next video will focus on the Protoss and the abilities and some of the cool stuff they can do as far as scouting goes. And then after that I'll be talking about the Zerg and some of the things they can do to scout their enemy. Before I go, I want to leave you with one last little trick here. If you've ever noticed that you've had a bunch of SCVs just laying around, say for instance after they've built something, they just sit there. One of the things you can do to circumvent this from the get-go is you can, when you have something built, say you build a barracks, hold down shift and then just have them go there, and then click them back to the minerals. So as soon as they get done building the barracks, they go to the minerals. But if, for instance, you've got a lot of these guys just sitting around not doing anything, and you want to quickly get them all, what you can do is you can hold down Control and then hit F1. And that's going to select every single SCV that is just idle doing nothing. And you can quickly assign them to go do something. Now, if you watch, look at all these SCVs all around the map. Doesn't matter what, as long as they weren't occupied doing something. Now, it's not going to pull the guys that are doing something or already have keys, but only the ones that aren't doing something. You can quickly get them out and get them going. Well, till next time, guys, I hope you enjoy these videos. If you do, please subscribe, please thumbs up. It ensures other people also see this, and I'll talk to you guys later.